Yo guys, what's up? Spurs Nerd here, and I have another good video blog for you today. This one is, we're talking about mindset. Specifically, we're talking about being present and being process-oriented versus outcome-oriented. So one of the biggest things to grasp is that your mindset is hugely important for you reaching your fitness goals. In order to get ripped, you must evolve. You can't have the same mindset and then get in shape and maintain it. There's no way. Your mindset has to evolve with your body. That's why fitness is not just a physical thing, it's mental and physical. It's kind of like a current to a river. If, let's say your goal's over here, and the current is pushing you away from your goals, your mindset is pushing you away from your goals. You can still reach this by swimming against the current, but you're gonna have to use a lot of energy, a lot of effort to make yourself get there. And then once you're finally there, you're still gonna have to use effort to push against that current to stay there. Now, if we took it the other way, and we said that we switched your mindset up and we fixed it, and then your current is now pushing you towards your goals, well now, you can't, it's almost like you can't not succeed, because your mind is pushing you towards the thing that you want. You have to be actively fighting against it to go the other way. So keep that in mind as far as how important fitness and that, or mindset and that inner fitness is. So the first step is to become more present in the moment, in the now. The best way to describe this is from one of my favorite authors, Osho. He talks about how thoughts are material things, just like anything material in the world around us. So like your desk, your coffee mug, your pens, those all take up space. They are material things. In the same way, your thoughts take up space. They are material things. And if you think about time as a timeline, and the present is just the dividing point, then there's the past and there's the present, and then the past and the future, and the present is just that dividing line. So in order to create space for your thoughts to come out, your mind either has to move into the past or move into the future. And if it's in the present, there's no room, so there's no room for thoughts. So pretty much to be there, the only thing you can do is observe and act and be. You can't think. So that's very important, because overthinking is one of the most probably one of the biggest barriers for people as far as what they need to do to get into shape. People are just constantly overthinking instead of just getting into a groove of some process that is effective and sticking with it and enjoying it. So that you can see how presence is very involved in process orientation, because when you want to be focusing on the process, you have to be present with the action that you're taking. So it's so much better to be process-oriented versus outcome-oriented, because if you're constantly focused on some goal, then everything that you have to do to get there is just a means to an end. And that is a perfect way to not enjoy any of it. You're just going to constantly be looking at that as something that is going to get you to the goal, and that's all. So a good way to describe this is, if you've ever seen the show How I Met Your Mother, there's two characters, Marshall and Barney, who have a slap bet. And so Marshall wins, and he says, you can either take 10 slaps right now, or 5 slaps whenever I want, at my choosing. And so Barney's like, well, 5 slaps, I'm going to go with 5. We're going to do 5. But the problem is that now, over the next however many seasons, Barney's constantly living in this fear of when that slap is coming. He doesn't know. And that fear, that waiting and looking towards the outcome, is far worse than the actual outcome. Being slapped is just a quick little physical pain, it's over. But to be worrying about it for months on end when it's coming is far, far worse. So this is the same concept, but we're flipping it now towards a goal that you're trying to achieve. If you put this goal of, I want to get ripped, and that's all you focus on, then everything up to that point is just going to be painful, because you're just wanting that so badly that you're not there, and that hurts. Whereas if you say that that's the goal, you figure out the steps you need to take to get there, and then you just kind of forget about the goal. Then you just worry about the actual step, and you stay very present and get into that process of what you need to do. Then you find that you actually really enjoy it. You really get into the whole process of working out and eating right and all that good stuff. And that's super important, because the process is what gets you the results. The process are the steps that you take to actually reach that end goal. Just thinking about the end goal isn't enough. You have to actually be doing the things that get you there. So this is to learn to love working out and to learn to love eating right is kind of like an acquired taste. So it's the same with any other acquired taste, like Scotch, for example. So when I first started drinking Scotch, It was kind of like, it's harsh. It has some strong flavors in it. It takes a little bit of a while to get used to it. If you are just focused on becoming a Scotch drinker, say, then when you're drinking the Scotch, all you're doing is just drinking it because you want to become a Scotch drinker. That's all you're worried about. You're gonna just put up with the harsh taste and the bitterness, and you're just gonna be like, I just got to do this so that I can become a Scotch drinker. I'm sure nobody's actually doing it this way, but it's just a good example. But if you say, okay, I want to be a Scotch drinker, so I'm going to start drinking the Scotch, but I'm going to kind of forget about the end goal of being a Scotch drinker, and instead I'm just going to sip and be present with Scotch, then all of a sudden the harshness isn't that bad, the bitterness isn't that bad, and you actually start to taste all these other flavors that maybe you wouldn't have noticed before, that would have been covered up. So you're just very, very present with the Scotch. You get all the taste, you get all the flavors, you recognize things that you like about it that you wouldn't have seen had you been so focused on the end goal. And fitness is the same way. You go into a workout dreading it, just thinking like, I have to do this because I have to do it to get to my goal. Then you're going to miss all the things that you like. You're going to miss the good feeling of working out. You're going to be so focused on the pain that you're going to miss that like wonderful feeling of being pumped up, being like active, feeling watching your numbers go up over time, and that is so important because if you love that process, if you love doing the things that you have to do in order to reach your goal, then how can you not succeed? You're going to be you're going to be compelled to go work out because you want it. You want to go feel that feeling. You're going to be compelled to eat right because you like how it feels. You really like the flavor of really wholesome food. Those other things that were pulling you away from your goal, being lazy and eating poorly, those aren't even going to appeal to you anymore because you're going to recognize why those are not as enjoyable as working out and eating right are. So process orientation, being present with the process, really learning to love it and learning to enjoy it, that will switch that current and push you towards your goal so that you don't have to worry about trying. You're just going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy the entire thing. You're going to get there. You're going to be ripped. You're going to maintain it for the long run because it's all just a part of what you like to do now. So start focusing on this. Start cultivating it. I'm going to get out of here.